Hi Leela, so we're going to start with a quick introduction. If you can just introduce yourself to everyone, please.
Yes, my name is Leela Patterson. I'm 24 years old and I'm totally blind, have been since birth. I'm a passionate disability awareness promoter and I love giving people an opportunity to be heard.
Great, okay, so we're going to have a quick conversation, just an informal chat about elections, voting, inclusivity, disability. First question, do you think the election process is inclusive for young people with disabilities?
No, absolutely not. Political parties don't give out leaflets accessibly, so like they don't have braille copies or audio copies. And obviously if they hand me a leaflet in print, well, what do I do with that? I can't read it, you know, and I've told them this many times and they said, oh, we'll look into it for you, but nothing ever happened, which is really annoying. So I think, you know, that more needs to be done about that so that people like me can get to know what the parties stand for, you know, their manifesto, and you know what they can do for people like me.
So has that stopped you and been a barrier then from voting? Have you ever voted in Wales?
I haven't voted in Wales yet. I voted in England and they were a little bit more accessible. But yeah, no, I haven't voted in Wales yet, so I've not had a chance to look at that, unfortunately. But I have noticed that none of the parties' leaflets are in accessible formats. You know, there's no braille copies, no audio copies. Nobody calls you on the phone to speak to you. Nobody comes over to you and talks to you. So obviously people like me, we don't know who's standing for us because we can't see them and no one really approaches us.
Okay, thank you so much for that really informative answer. Just on the back of that then why do you think it's important to be fully inclusive and accessible so you can get your voice heard?
I think that, you know, if whoever's standing for election, you know, whatever party you're in, I think if you approach us, if you see us in the street or, you know, you see us anywhere, just don't be afraid to approach us and introduce yourself to us. So, you know, people like me, we're really happy to talk. I mean, I'm like an open book, really, me. I'm just, you know, more than happy to speak to people and get my views across. I would also like all leaflets and other information material to be fully accessible, like, you know, large print for those who are partially sighted, braille for those who have no vision, and an audio copy if they prefer.
That's amazing. Thank you so much again. That's such an educational, informative answer. Thank you, Leela. Just to end then, how do you think we can make it more inclusive and accessible? I know you've touched on some of those examples, but can you just elaborate a little bit more?
Yeah. So I think what political parties can do is, you know, like I said, you can approach us in the street. I mean, I'm perfectly happy to talk. If you want, you can take my number or, you know, take our numbers, you know, whoever you're talking to. And you can call us on the phone, speak to us, and as long as you give us the background information of your party, then obviously people like me can be more informed and, you know, make a better decision on who to vote for.
Amazing. Just to finish off then, if you had one message, one important final message for all political parties and all decision makers, what would it be?
My message would be to be as inclusive as possible. You know, make all information material like leaflets, letters and everything in accessible formats like, you know, large print, braille, audio. Approach us in the street or wherever you see us, you know, wherever possible, because, you know, don't be afraid. I'm more than happy to talk, and, you know, if you want to speak to me for half an hour, I'm always around. So yeah,
Great. That's amazing. Thank you so much, Leela. It was great talking to you.
Thank you.